a psycho icon. The rifle might bomb, get an eye full of lead when I snipe your lights out. With a street cleaner, wipe your life out. Bullets know what your ears like a Tyson fight out. Fuck the knife clout, guns, clips. I'm going to fuck that one, bitch. I hit these street punks and chumps don't know me. Ain't no problem to leave your whole body homie.
Hello guys, welcome to another quick video. I'll just quickly talk about what happened and what would have been the last video I put up. Here to see me have some fun out and about, riding out in the sticks a bit, having a good old ride, and all of a sudden it seemed like my bike was losing power or something. I couldn't get it moving, and then I had to pull over to the side, and all of a sudden I couldn't get it even started and stuff. And I then noticed in neutral I couldn't even move the bike, even with the engine off and all that. So something made me sort of like check my brake pedal, because it's like, well, if it's not in gear, you know, is one of my brakes stuck on for some reason? There's a cable or something snapped. Does all the fluid come out? And I pulled on the foot peg of the rear brake, and it lifted up. And I thought, what the heck's going on there? That's a bit weird. So then it would move. Because at first I thought that was like something wrong with the clutch or something. I wasn't getting any power. I wasn't being able to pull the clutch apart. I don't know, you know, it was a bit confusing. So I thought that was something to do with that. But after I pulled the brake pedal up, it was like, well, it's moving now. But I couldn't get it started. So I thought, what the heck is going on? I ain't run out of petrol, have I? You know, I'd only just sort of like started using the reserve fuel tank. So I was like, it shouldn't have run out of fuel, but it seems like as it wouldn't start. But then I was like, well, but the electric start don't seem to be working at all, because it's not even making a sound. So, and as you would have seen, I then gave it a bump start. Had to run it down the road a little bit, and that bump started straight away, and it seemed to like run fine and stuff, but the brake pedal didn't feel right to me, so I was a bit wary of using the rear brake. So I was using mostly the front brake on the way home, which, as you know, on a bike is a bit dodgy using that all the time. But then as I got a bit braver, and I decided to start using the back brake and just tested it. It turns out it's actually much better now for some reason. Well, I thought for some reason, I know now why. So my rear brake is much sharper than it's been for, as it seemed, since I had the bike. But it definitely couldn't have been since I had the bike, because the problem is, I'll show you a picture here. You've got this little plunger on the left of the picture where you can see a little nut. That nut was loose for some reason, I don't know why, but I don't think that really had anything to do with it. But I tightened that up, and the adjuster's a bit of a weird thing. It's the nut and the bolt on the right. Hope you can see it on the picture. I don't know, because I'm not looking at it obviously. Yeah, for some reason that nut had come loose. There should possibly, the bolt even had come loose. The lock nut had obviously come loose. I don't know if there should have been a nut on the top, which I want to get another 10mm nut and just put that on top, just to make sure it's a bit more secure with two lock nuts. But somehow that had come loose, and that was right down to the top. There threw more threads out, and that would have fell out. And somehow that had got behind the bit that the bolt actually usually rests on to hold the pedal in place, because that's the adjuster for how high you want it. But somehow that had sort of got around the little thing it rests on. So all that time I've been riding the bike, it's been a bit dodgy, and I didn't notice that somehow was holding the brake pedal from going fully down to use my rear brakes fully, which is a bit strange that hasn't for months clicked past it, and then I've realised there's a problem, but that didn't happen until then. But somehow that then caught it in such a way that held the brake pedal down, and that's why the brakes seemed to lock on. So when I pulled up, obviously I then pulled it past it somehow and sorted itself out. So in a way my bike was saying, look, there's something wrong, I'm trying to fix myself here. And obviously when I got home and looked at it, I saw what the problem was, wound that bolt in some more, undone the lock nut enough so I could get it up to where I wanted it, tightened the lock nut, and now it's fine. And now I can actually skid the back brake if I want, the back wheel if I wanted to. Don't know if anyone remember in one of the videos recently I was saying I was trying to see if I could skid a little bit on the back wheel just for fun, and I couldn't do it for some reason. I didn't know why, and that's because the brake pedal wasn't being able to be pushed all the way down. So luckily now it is. Now it's all sorted out. I'll just have to keep an eye on that while I wait to find or buy another 10mm nut to go on the top to make sure it stay locked in place. I've got a feeling it's the garage that caused it in a way, because when I first got the bike, after a few days he said bring it back and I'll adjust anything you need to, like I'll check the throttle cables fine because they can stretch after a few days, and we'll just make sure that's right, and you know, a couple of other things including the brake pedal. He said I'll just make sure, you know, that's where you want it and stuff, and I said yeah, I'd like it like a bit lower or something like that. I can't remember, it was a bit higher or a bit lower, and I remember that's probably lower, but I remember him saying, you know, I've adjusted it as much as it can do. So I don't know whether he took the top nut off, because I'm sure there should have been one there. But yeah, so I don't know if it's because he took the top off so he could adjust it as much as he could, and then obviously it's worked loose over time. It's possible, possibly there weren't one to begin with, which would be a bit of a stupid design in my opinion. So it's a possibility that's what's happened, but at least now I know what the problem was and I've sorted it out and it seems fine. There's also another reason why it could have got caught on it. Why that was missing and stuff I don't think would be related at all. But there's another reason how it could have strangely got caught, and that's like within a few weeks or so of owning the bike, while I was just parking it up, I was moving it by hand. That tilted away from me a bit too much and I dropped the bike, and I think I did bend the brake pedal slightly, which could have caused it to damage or bend that little nut slightly as well. I don't know, you know, so it's possible, but it seems sort of fine now. I've tightened that back in, it's resting on the bit it's meant to rest on and everything, you know, so I don't see like that should have really caused an issue like that. But yeah, everything's all fine now. The rear brake's working better than ever, so I've been riding this bike with lack of rear brake for months and not knowing it, which is a bit strange that it hasn't caused an issue before that. But anyway, I thought I'd just let you know what's going on, let you know the bike is fine, nothing major went wrong, that was just a bit of a weird thing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the quick update. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good shit. And I'll see you again in the next video.
It's me and my man compadre, black and white and ivory and black ebony. They can't step to me, weaponry is heavenly. They can't see us in the 313 vicinity. Hey yo, M, ha,
what
ha,
up?
ha, ha.
Ha ha, I come in like ha ha, I'm ill like nah nah. And y'all don't wanna see me cause I'm ill with the skills.